Hello and welcome to the webinar overview of Tufts University's pre-college summer intensive programs for high school students. We're thrilled that you're joining us this evening to learn more about the exciting opportunities for study on campus this summer. My name is Ariana Wilson and I'm the Director of Pre-College Programs here at Tufts. I'm here with my pre-college teammates who I'll let introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Tara Pope. I'm the Marketing Director for University College, the new school at Tufts that pre-college programs fall under. I support the pre-college team getting the word out about all of our exciting programs that take place in the summer and throughout the academic year.
My name is Sally Kim, and I am the Program Administrator for Pre-College Programs, responsible for managing the Engineering Design Lab and the Coding 101 intensives, as well as the 6-week Tufts Summer Research Experience.
Hi, my name is Karen McGuire, and I'm another Program Administrator for Pre-College Programs, specifically aiding with the School of Museum of Intensives this summer.
And my name is James Spazziro. I'm a program administrator for pre-college as well, specifically running point on the mini med school intensive, as well as our other longer term summer programs, the Tufts College Experience, and courses at Tufts for high schoolers.
We'll begin today by giving you a brief overview of the 2 to 3 week content-specific intensive programs we're offering this summer, as well as a brief snapshot of our 6-week more generalized programs. After that, we'll respond to questions that you've sent us, as well as other frequently asked questions about the programs and the application process. If you have questions throughout the presentation, you're welcome to post them in the Q&A section of your webinar screen, and we'll answer as many as we can in the available time. If you include your email address when you post a question and we don't get to it, we'll answer you via email after the webinar is over.
And if you're looking for more information about our summer offerings, our website, precollege.tufts.edu, is a great place to start. You can browse through our programs on the homepage and click on the one that most piques your interest to go to the program-specific details. Once you get there, you can pick summer, and you can see all of the intensives are broken out here. As you click into each individual program, you'll find more information, and each program requires students to complete a brief online application, and the application requirements vary depending on which program you're applying to. So we will touch on those requirements when we discuss each program throughout this presentation. Tonight we will look at the 6 college,
This summer, we're offering 9 programs specifically designed for high school students. Tonight's webinar will focus on our 6 intensive programs. Here at Tufts, we use the word intensive to describe our programs that are 2 to 3 weeks in length and delve deeply into one particular topic. This summer, we're offering intensives in engineering, international relations, leadership, coding, and studio art, which is run through the School of the Museum of Fine Arts. And new this year, our mini med school. The 3 remaining 6-week programs we offer are our Tufts College Experience, courses at Tufts for high schoolers, and Tufts Summer Research Experience. To ensure we can provide the best customer service possible for each of our programs, and as they mentioned earlier, our program administrators, James, Karen, and Sally, have specific programs that they focus on and act as a liaison to the students and families who plan to, and hopefully do, enroll. Each of the program administrators will go over these programs in more detail throughout the course of the presentation.
Okay, let's get started. As a reminder, these programs are shorter in duration and focus deeply on one specific subject area. For all of the intensives, the academics of the program run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. For those students who choose to live on campus, there will be social activities scheduled in the evenings and on weekends. Lunch is provided for all students, including commuter students. 3 meals a day will be provided for students who elect to live on campus. So for our first intensive, we'll be talking about the SMFA Studio Art program at the School of the Museum of Fine Arts. This is a 3-week program running from July 12th to 31st and is available to commuter or residential students. The program will take place at the SMFA campus located next to the Museum of Fine Arts in the scenic Fenway area of downtown Boston. Residential students will live on Tufts Medford Somerville campus, and transportation downtown will be provided for residential students. The SMFA Studio Art Intensive gives student artists the opportunity to work with new materials and deepen their understanding of familiar mediums. Over the course of the program, students will participate in foundations classes taught by a team of the SMFA's artists and educators in such areas as drawing, painting, sculpture, and digital media. Classes will blur the lines between disciplines, giving students the chance to work with a range of materials from acrylic paints and charcoal to wire, found objects, and digital animation. Additionally, with visits to local museums like the Museum of Fine Arts and the Institute of Contemporary Art, students will answer questions like how do artists examine, critique, and better the world around them? How can art transcend medium by combining and transforming materials in order to communicate something unique and meaningful? Throughout the program, students will be assigned their own studio space and work one-on-one with SMFA instructors to develop their portfolios and artistic work. On the last day of the program, students will participate in a final exhibition attended by their family, friends, faculty, and other members of the SMFA at Tufts community. Students will have the chance to learn what it's like to work on exhibitions as they collaboratively curate and install the show. So moving on to what a typical schedule looks like, the program structure has kind of 4 main focuses. The first, as I mentioned before, foundations classes, which during the 3 weeks, students will participate in the 3 foundation classes geared toward drawing and painting, sculpture, 3D, and digital media. There's a critical studies class, which will connect visiting artist talks, field trips, and other explorations of making art in the context of the real world. The critical studies class will introduce students to analysis and their critique while supporting them in writing and thinking critically about art. There's going to be portfolio development, which will help students and give them the chance to work one-on-one with program faculty members and have individual meetings and daily access to members of the SMFA at Tufts admissions team who are ready to answer questions about building a portfolio and putting together college applications. In addition to the online application, students must submit a parent permission form and a short statement on their goals for attending the program this summer. Students will have the option to submit a portfolio of their work, but this is not required.
Next up is our engineering design lab, which is in partnership with Tufts renowned School of Engineering. This 2-week program takes place in 2 sessions, the first of which is from July 12th to July 24th, and the second session being July 26th to August 7th. This program is open to rising high school sophomores through seniors, and students must be 15 by program start. Like most of our other programs, Engineering Design Lab offers both a commuter and residential option depending on the student's need. Students will have the opportunity to hear from Tufts' outstanding engineering faculty and industry experts, learning about engineering research being done at Tufts, as well as challenges encountered by Tufts faculty as a part of their work and how those challenges can be solved with the tools and technologies in their labs. During the first week, students will focus on developing engineering skills in fabrication, robotics, and computation in the state-of-the-art no-lot makerspace at Tufts. Students here will have access to leverage a variety of these platforms. Students will also attend workshops where they develop the programming and maker skills they need to take on a real world challenge of their own. As a part of this program, students will gain a more comprehensive understanding of the different ways that engineers solve problems and challenges in both the public and private sectors. The second week of the Engineering Design Lab will focus on engineering design projects, and students will gain experience in rapid prototyping and will learn more about how to respond to client needs in their engineering designs. Working in small groups, they will have the opportunity to tackle their own challenge, utilizing their newly acquired mechanical and electrical engineering skills to create design prototypes, and they will also have the opportunity to present their prototypes in a final exhibition attended by their peers, Tufts faculty members, and family. Here is a sample schedule of what students enrolled in the Engineering Design Lab entails. While things are subject to change, students can expect to work in the no-lot makerspace in the morning, coupled with a brief lecture in the afternoon before lunch. After lunch, students will be in class learning about engineering design, and the day will typically round out with some dinner. In addition to the online application, this program requires a transcript, 1 letter of recommendation, and a parent permission form.
Our third intensive offered in the summer of 2020 is Leadership for Social Change, a 2-week residential-only intensive that takes place from July 12th to 24th. This program is run out of Tufts Tisch School of Civic Engagement and is designed for students who are passionate about making a difference in their communities. Over the course of the program, students will gain the leadership and practical skills necessary to become true change makers. They will engage in workshops taught by Tufts faculty in a range of disciplines, including political science, public health, education, nutrition policy, and environmental science. Students will also participate in panel discussions and hands-on workshops with Tufts students, elected officials, and policymakers. They will go out into the Boston area community to explore the issues about which they are learning on the ground and to participate in direct service work. The program combines academics, fieldwork, skill building, and opportunities for community interaction with exploration of specialized topics in civic and public life, including politics, advocacy, and social entrepreneurship. In the last week of the program, students will work on a capstone project, individually or in small groups, exploring a policy area of interest and developing an action plan for change. They will research the policy problem and its root causes, evaluate policy solutions that have been proposed, and develop their own plan of action. Students will then have the unique opportunity to receive invaluable feedback from state legislators on their action plan. On the last day of the program, students will present their proposals to a group of their peers, as well as faculty, staff, and family members. Just to recap and give some highlights, this course is available for Tufts Pre-College Pre-Matriculation credit. It gives you hands-on skills and foundational knowledge for sustainable, meaningful civic engagement work, leadership development and networking opportunities, inspiration and preparation to bring change and be active, engaged civic leaders, team presentation and e-portfolio of each other students' work, direct service opportunities in the community, a community of peers who value civic engagement and community leadership, an enhanced understanding of studying and life at college. In addition to the online application, this program requires a transcript, one letter of recommendation, a parent permission form, and a personal statement elaborating on your interest in social justice and civic engagement. The fourth intensive that we have available this summer is the International Relations Intensive, which is a 2-week program running from July 19th to 31st. The program offers a residential and a commuter option and is open to rising high school juniors and seniors who will be at least 15 by the start of the program. The International Relations Intensive gives high school students great insight into the rapidly changing field and is perfect for students interested in studying current and historical global issues. As you may know, Tufts is home to the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy, one of the top graduate schools in international affairs in the country. This program takes full advantage of the tremendous faculty and expert resources of the Fletcher School and of Tufts' accomplished international relations program in the School of Arts and Sciences. Students will attend lectures with Tufts faculty members on such topics as cybersecurity, alliance dynamics, nuclear proliferation, citizens and empires, and negotiation and conflict resolution. Student studies will culminate in a research paper on an international relations topic of their choice. IR intensive students will receive Tufts pre-matriculation credit upon successful completion of this program. Our program is broken down into 4 exciting components that introduce Tufts' unique approach to international relations. The first is an intensive language study. In keeping with Tufts' strong emphasis on language and cultural proficiency for the understanding of global issues, students will immerse themselves in intensive college-level foreign language training. Options include beginning Arabic, Russian, Chinese, intermediate French or Spanish, advanced Spanish, and English language learners will have the opportunity to participate in an all-English college-level writing seminar. During the application process, students will be asked to indicate their top 2 language course preferences. Placement will depend on remaining capacity in the section, and if it is selected intermediate or advanced course, passing a placement exam. Our program also contains guest lectures where students will hear from some of Tufts' world-class faculty who work on problems of international importance as they share their research and answer student questions. Skill building, where they will gain marketable skills in research, critical thinking, analytical skills, and through a cultural competency training, meet the military event, a news reporting 101 session. These are just examples of things that we've had in the past in this program. And finally, group discussions, where they will work closely with groups mentored by a TA as you reflect on the topics discussed each day. Students will learn how to utilize library resources effectively and to craft a college-level research paper. They will engage in small group discussions with graduate students and advanced undergraduate students in international relations. In addition to the online application, this program requires a transcript, 1 letter of recommendation, and a parent permission form.
Next, we have Coding 101, a 3-week commuter or residential program running from July 12th through July 31st. The Coding 101 intensive will equip students of all levels in experience with in-demand programming skills needed to build apps that solve real-world problems. Students will learn or expand their knowledge of coding language Python, one of the most popular programming languages in use today. It's currently used for things like mobile apps, web, and software development, as well as desktop graphic and user interfaces. It is a critical component of websites like Reddit, YouTube, and Instagram. In addition to learning Python, students will also engage in other topics like web scraping, natural language processing, and data analytics in workshops taught by Tufts graduate students and faculty, and gain hands-on experience with programming throughout the first 2 weeks. Each day, there will be a new model consisting of a lecture followed by a hands-on activity which applies those concepts and skills. Speaker series and an introduction to application development will provide tools, creativity, and expertise needed to develop a new app. In addition, and a new component of the Coding 101 program this year, tech treks to Boston area technology-centric companies such as HubSpot, Google, GigaWorks, Fidelity, and more will allow students to explore the vast array of careers in the expanding fields of software and technology and see real-world application of what they are learning. The last week will offer students the chance to apply what they've learned as they focus on designing, creating, and pitching their own app, which they will demo to a group of their peers as well as Tufts faculty and staff in interdisciplinary groups. Upon successful completion of the program, students will receive Tufts pre-matriculation credit for their work. Here's a sample schedule of what students can expect as a part of the Coding 101 intensive. Students will be covering Python basics in the morning based on skill level. And in the afternoon, students will run through various skill building modules covering topics such as Python exercises, natural language processing, and then the day will round out generally with the guest speakers, some free time, and dinner. Please note that the schedule is subject to change, but you can definitely expect a combination of engaging lectures, skill building workshops, and iterative app design, which is critical to success in data intensive fields. In addition to the online application, this program requires a transcript, one letter of recommendation, and a parent permission form. Students will also be asked to fill out a brief survey indicating their past experience with computers.
All right. And finally, we have Mini Med School, which is a new program for summer 2020. Mini Med School is a 2-week commuter residential program running from July 12th to 24th. This summer intensive provides driven students who are interested in medical school or in other health professions the opportunity to study with one of the nation's leading medical schools, Tufts University School of Medicine. Through lectures and medical case studies coupled with hands-on training, students will begin to experience what it takes to study medical sciences. Field trips to the Tufts Medical Campus will include visits to the Clinical Skills and Simulation Center and exercises highlighting the latest in surgical techniques. Question and answer sessions with the admissions staff, medical doctors, doctors from other health professions, and medical students will help participants get a feel for medical school and the career options they have in medicine and related health sciences. This program places its content emphasis on infectious diseases and the global threat of antimicrobial resistant infections, 2 issues that are critical to doctors and medical professionals today. Students will sit in on a meeting of the Hospital Infection Control Committee, learn about the importance of appropriate treatment, the challenges doctors face today in combating multi-drug resistance, and the cutting-edge solutions to these challenges that researchers are developing. As a part of this focus, students will contribute to a national research surveillance program to monitor antibiotic resistance. Students will also participate in a field trip to the Cummings School of Veterinary Medicine to learn about the study of antimicrobial resistance in animals and the potential connection to human health. With the belief that the future of medicine and medical training is a One Health approach, this program is uniquely interdisciplinary and is distinctive in its ability to draw on the stunning array of schools beyond the School of Medicine dedicated to the health science and medicine at Tufts University, including the School of Dental Medicine, the Cummings School of Veterinary Medicine, the Friedman School of Nutrition Science and Policy, and the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences. With all this in mind, here's a sample schedule of a week in the life of a mini-med student. A typical day consists of a number of different program components. Days might start with a research lecture highlighting some of the cutting-edge research happening on campus. Students also take part in patient and analysis skill-building workshops designed to give students the essential techniques and context needed to be successful in medical school. To supplement these classroom-based components, students will visit hospitals, medical schools, and research facilities to see how they work and participate in Q&As with practicing physicians. The program also dedicates time for career awareness blocks where students will hear from real doctors, medical students, undergrads, and other health professionals regarding what it's like to be in their shoes. While the program plan is still being finalized, the schedule can give you a good idea of the amazing opportunities available for you in mini-med school. As a result of its popularity and limited program space, mini-med is currently reaching its capacity. Going forward, applicants interested in mini-med can be placed on the wait list. However, we also have a number of really exciting courses and programs that can get you started on your journey towards medicine, including the Tufts Summer Research Experience, which is a 6-week program where you can work as a lab assistant in the Tufts Research Lab, which we'll also touch on later. Courses such as bioinformatics through sequencing or health science honors, which are designed for high school students interested in biology and medicine. And open enrollment courses such as general genetics, cells and organisms, and a number of other bio and chem and also public health and community health courses, which are available through the Tufts College Experience and courses at Tufts for high schoolers, in addition to the other STEM intensives that we've touched on here, including Engineering Design Lab and Coding 101. And in addition to the online application, this program requires a transcript, 1 letter of recommendation, and a parent permission form. In addition, 1 year of prior biology experience is strongly preferred for this highly competitive program.
Thanks, James, Sally, and Karen for going through our intensives. This is Ariana again. Now that we've successfully talked at you for a little while and given you an abundance of information about our pre-college intensives, we wanted to give you the opportunity to ask some questions specifically related to our intensives before we jump into a brief overview of the 3 additional program offerings that we've touched on.
Waiting for some questions to come in. So we have a question here, which I believe is pertaining to how to apply for the TSRE lab. Kind of just the fees and the logistics with that.
Yeah, so with the Tufts Summer Research Experience, it's pretty similar to the other application requirements for our other intensives as well as our longer term summer programs. We'll require a transcript, a letter of recommendation, a parent permission form, as well as an online application. With the Tufts Summer Research Experience, as a part of that application, you will also be able to list your top 3 preferences in terms of lab placements and where you want to be placed. We also have all of these lab placements and the labs that are available for you to participate in research with on our website when you go to the Tufts Summer Research Experience portion of our University College website. So the application process is pretty straightforward, very similar to these intensives as well.
For TSRE, they have to be 16 years old due to lab liability issues. So we do accept rising sophomores if you're 16 years old by the start of the program. Otherwise, it's typically juniors and seniors. The program fee for residential students in the Tufts Summer Research Experience is $11,250, including a materials fee, which students retain the materials. The commuter tuition is $8,000 with a $200 materials fee. Now we'll go through just a brief overview of our 6-week programs, including the Tufts College Experience, Tufts Summer Research Experience, and courses at Tufts for high schoolers. Tufts College Experience, or TCE as we like to call it, is a 6-week residential program running from June 28th to August 7th. The program is open to rising high school juniors, seniors, and seniors, and students must be 15 by the start of the program. TCE is designed to give students a taste of what college life is like, and where students enroll in 2 courses, most of which are regular undergrad courses taught by Tufts professors, and high school students have the opportunity to study with and alongside our incredible Tufts students and faculty. At the end of the program, TCE students will receive Tufts credit for successful completion of their coursework, and they'll be able to request a Tufts transcript. Students in this program will also have the opportunity to participate in our college prep workshops designed to help prepare them for college applications. We have an SAT prep workshop as well as an admissions essay writing workshop. We also have a broader college prep 101 workshop that occurs on every Friday with morning sessions led by Tufts staff or students. Students will explore and teach valuable skills necessary for college, like how to choose your major or how to write an effective resume. And each week, students will tour a different Boston area college or university, getting a better idea of what college life is like at the many institutions of higher ed that Massachusetts has to offer. And the Tufts College Experience wouldn't be complete without the social aspects of university life, like living in the dorms, social activities in the afternoons and evenings, like ice cream socials and movie nights. These occur in combination with all of the pre-college program students, so students will get the opportunity to meet other students participating in other programs. And on the weekends, students will have the opportunity to adventure with their peers to Boston area highlights like sightseeing downtown, exploring Boston's famous Freedom Trail, fun at Six Flags, trips to the beach, and treetop adventures. The summer research experience, aka TSRE, which we just touched on a little bit, is a commuter or residential program running from June 28th to August 7th. It's open to rising high school juniors and seniors, or students who will be 16 by the start of the program. As the main component of TSRE, students will work in labs alongside Tufts faculty members and graduate students, contributing to the cutting edge research being done on Tufts campus. This summer, we have 20 labs across the Tufts 3 campuses in Medford, Somerville, Boston, and Grafton that are available for students to work in, ranging from subject areas like biology and chemistry to social sciences to engineering like robotics and biomedical engineering. The academic of this program runs from 9 to 5 on Monday through Friday, and most of the day is spent working in the labs and gaining hands-on experience in research science, with afternoons that they spend in journal clubs where they'll discuss the ongoing breakthroughs in science while learning to better analyze and interpret their research. Commuter students arrive on campus and stay for the 9 to 5 portion of the program, while residential students will live in the dorms and balance their academic work with social activities, just like in the Tufts College experience. Our third longer term program is our Courses at Tufts for high schoolers. The program is similar to the Tufts College experience in that students enroll in college level 4-credit courses. The important difference is that Courses at Tufts is a commuter only program in which students can enroll in in-person or online classes, which actually can be taken not on campus or anywhere in the world that you have an internet connection. There are 2 sessions of Courses at Tufts for high schoolers. The first runs from May 20th to June 26th, and the second runs from June 30th to August 7th. The program is available to rising sophomores through seniors. Courses at Tufts is flexible in it that it allows students to take 1 or 2 courses per session with a maximum of 4 throughout the summer. And we offer over 130 courses in I think about 40 different departments across the 2 sessions. Again, most of which are Tufts regular undergraduate courses taught by Tufts professors, with undergraduate students also participating in the courses, where students receive Tufts credit upon successful completion and can request a transcript at the end of the program. Courses at Tufts for high schoolers, as a special bonus to high school students, allows students to take advantage of the college prep workshops that I mentioned earlier, the SAT prep and the admissions essay writing. And then if they want, students can enroll for an additional fee in the College Prep 101 workshop that happens on Fridays. As a commuter program, Tufts, or Courses at Tufts, grants the flexibility for local students to come to campus when their classes meet, but they don't need to be on campus all day. However, students enrolled in all of our programs do have access to the libraries and gyms at Tufts.
So before we end tonight's session, we wanted to go through some frequently asked questions. And feel free to, while we're going through these, if you have any other questions, to keep putting them into the Q&A section, and we'll be able to continue answering those for you. But we want to start with one that we get asked a lot, which is for all of our programs, application is due on May 1st. Though applications are accepted on a rolling basis, this means that the sooner you submit your application and all of your application materials, the sooner you will receive an admission decision. When you submit your application and any additional materials, you will receive an admission decision within 10 business days. To see your admission decision, you can log into your application portal. We encourage you to apply early, as we stop accepting applications when our programs begin to fill up. Go ahead.
Again, we encourage you to ask questions in the Q&A box or email them to us as we go along. We'll spend the remaining time that we have answering questions, but one of the other most frequently asked questions that we have is, what are the materials needed to submit along with the application? As Karen, Sally, and James mentioned when they were going through the intensives, each program does have a couple different requirements, but the constant ones are submitting a transcript, submitting a parent permission form, and submitting a recommendation from a faculty member at your high school, or an employer, or someone who has worked with you in some capacity. After you submit the application, which is basic information about which program you're applying to, and for programs like TSRE, your preferences on what lab you want to participate in. Your parent will receive an email that is requiring them to complete a parent permission form. In your application, you note who the email address of the parent that you wish to receive this permission form, and then the parent submits it through an online form that they get a link to. We require transcripts to be emailed to precollege.tufts.edu by an administrator or counselor from your high school. Unfortunately, we can't accept transcripts that are emailed by students, as the transcript needs to come from your school. If your high school can't or doesn't want to email the transcript, they're welcome to mail it to us at Tufts Pre-College Programs, Tufts University, 108 Packard Avenue, Medford, Mass. 02155. This information is also on our website as well as on the application form itself. With respect to the recommendation, on your application, you'll indicate the name and email address of the person you wish to write your letter of recommendation. And as soon as you do so, an email will be sent to that recommender to ask them to submit their letter. They can follow the link in the email to fill out a short form and upload their letter. If your recommender does not receive an email coming from precollege@tufts.edu, please let us know and we can resend directly to the recommender. And that's the same for the parent permission form. We can send that directly if they don't receive it as well.
Great. So we have a question here about how many students are in each class for the intensive programs. So generally our program capacity runs between around 50 to 70 students. But within all of our programs, we put a big focus on, small group work. So each student is getting a really, hands-on experience and working closely with faculty. So we have, around 60 students, I'd say, in each program. But like I said, there is smaller group work to have more of a focus within those intensives.
Yep. So, for example, the engineering design lab, each session is capped at about 40 students to maintain the integrity of space, specifically in the state-of-the-art no-lot maker space for fabrication and other design building purposes.
And typically a course or a section that students are focusing on at one time will have about a 1:15 to 1:20 ratio.
And we have another question here. What are the tuition and other fees for the top summer intensives? Does it vary by program?
It does vary by program. Typically, it's the length of the program. Most of our intensives are $5,500 for a residential student and $4,000 for a commuter student. For our 3-week programs, it's $6,750 for it's the Coding 101 and SMFA Studio Art program, and $5,000 for a commuter student.
Okay.
This information can also be found on our website if you click through each of the intensives. The dates, logistics, tuition is all listed there as well.
Another question that we get often is financial aid available? We have a limited amount of scholarships that we distribute on a need-based, first-come, first-served basis. Once a student is accepted into a program, he or she will receive an admission agreement form, which allows you to tell us that you plan to come to the program. On that form, students will be able to indicate if you're interested in applying for financial aid. By checking the box, you will have a form attached to your application that you can submit to be considered. We will award scholarships on a monthly basis, starting at the end of this month, February, until all of our scholarship funds have been distributed. Once you have sent in your financial aid application, we will be in contact with you throughout the process regarding the status of the aid allocation. To note, even if applying for financial aid due to the competitive nature of our programs, your spot cannot be reserved until you've put down a deposit. Your acceptance, however, will stand until the final tuition due date of May 15th or your tuition is paid in full. Once you're accepted into the program, you will still receive automated emails telling you to submit your deposit and pay your tuition. But if you've applied for a scholarship, you can rest assured that we will keep you updated on the progress of your application and the status of the aid. Any applicant can apply for scholarships for all of our programs except for Leadership for Social Change. LSC is grant funded, and therefore the scholarship money that we distribute is restricted to a select set of applicants. We have a couple more questions that have just come in.
Yes. So we have a question about scholarship and financial aid and what it's based off of. So that's just need-based, based off of the annual gross income and how many members are in the household. And yes, so it is based on that. That is the thing we look at.
The amount of funding that we offer is based on the enrollment in each program. So we only have allocation for scholarship funding based on how many enrollments of students that come in.
Next question that I see is what is included as a residential student of the program. Residential students for all of our programs will be housed together, most likely in Carmichael and Miller Halls, which are undergraduate dorms located on the residential quad. Students will be placed in rooms with other students attending their program, and upon acceptance, students will be asked to fill out a brief survey with questions like, how late do you like to stay up? When do you like to wake up? How social do you want your room to be? So that we can match you up well. Staff RAs and heads of a house will live in the dorms with the students and will be available to assist students in the halls. Our Res Life team will also be in charge of coordinating activities that take place in the evenings and on weekends. On weekends, students have the option to engage in more low-key activities in the dorms or in nearby Davis Square. On weeknights, students can sign up to attend our bigger field trips like trips to Red Sox games, Boston museums, or amusement parks with no additional cost. Residential students will also receive 3 meals a day in our dining hall, DeWick. DeWick is a buffet-style dining hall where students can choose from the daily featured meal or build their own salad or sandwich. Waffles and soft-serve ice cream are also available any time of day. All students, regardless of being residential or commuter, will have access to many of the Tufts buildings. In particular, your Tufts ID will allow you to access the main library, Tisch, as well as the Tufts gym. At the gym, students can use the workout machines as well as the swimming pool and indoor track. We have a few minutes left. We don't see any other additional questions at this point. Please remember that if you think of any questions or if you're browsing our site and need any more information, you can email us anytime or give us a call and we can get back to you with that. We want to thank you again so much for joining us this evening. Both tonight's webinar and Tuesday's webinar, which we hosted on the general, all of the summer programs will be posted online early next week, and we'll be sure to share that information with all of you when they're live. And please feel free to share this with your friends or family that also might be interested in joining us on campus this summer. Thanks again, and have a great night.